So was it hard to open a cafe?
Since you guys said that you had a business in the Philippines and now you have a business here, what's the biggest difference or obstacle that you've encountered while opening a business and running it?
Of course, you can do it by yourself, but I believe
What was your search term?
we know how hard it is to get visas from the Philippines.
Why did you choose to land in Madrid? Basically, save yourself some time and heartache.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're learning from experiences of others. Galing! I like it. Hi guys, I'm Bea with Everything is Bofo. And today, Paul and I are in Quento Café and Pasteleria here in Madrid. Abby and Francis are joining me today. They are the co-owners of Quento Café and Pasteleria, the first Filipino-owned cafe here in Madrid. So that's pretty exciting.
Hi, nice to see you
Yes,
again.
thank you. So a little background about like how we know Abby and Francis. So about 3 years ago, Paul and I had just arrived in Spain and we were doing videos on the non-lucrative visa, and Abby and Francis reached out to us to ask about non-lucrative visa and life here in Spain. And from then, you know, we just became good friends. Every time they're in Valencia or we're here in Madrid, we try to like catch up and see each other. And we kind of like get to know each other's lives a little bit more, like our lives here. Thank you so much for having us today.
Of course.
Thank you
It's our pleasure.
We're happy to be here in Quento Cafe, yeah. And, you know, enjoying the ube and the coffee, everything. And yeah, so tell us a little bit about yourselves. I'm sure they're curious to know why I'm interviewing you today. So yes, please, go ahead.
Hi, B. Nice to have you. Nice to see you always.
Yes.
And hi, everyone. My name is Frances. Who am I before Spain? I was an employee, 20 years in corporate work, until I decided to move here on NLV. And then after that, after 2 years living in Madrid, I was able to get my Spanish passport and Spanish birth certificate. And now I'm considering opening other businesses and traveling around Europe and beyond.
Okay. Hi, B. Welcome to Quento Cafe. So I'm Abby Manubay. I've been, before Spain, I was in the corporate world for 23 years. So doing a lot of operations and also human resources.
Wow. Okay, so what made you decide to apply for an NLV and move to Spain?
Good question.
What were your like motivations?
Yeah, for me, it's really during the pandemic time, we wanted to travel for a long period of time. So when you're doing Schengen visa, you're only given 3 months, right? So what I have in mind is to really, you know, enjoy life for a bit longer than 3 months. That's why we started to research about different visas that we can get. So definitely that's the starting point.
And you just stumbled upon non-lucrative visa? Is that how?
Yes.
Like, what was your search term? Like,
If I can remember it correctly, we just wanted to do a long-term visa stay. That's
okay.
it.
That was your search
Yes,
word.
yes.
And that popped up.
Yep.
Okay.
As for me, apart from traveling, we were heavy travelers before we even got the NLV. So our country count, I would say, is around 34. 34 countries before the NLV. So we know how hard it is to get visas from the Philippines. So at that point, we were looking for ways to travel long term and not go through the process of applying for visa, getting your documents together over and over again.
Yeah.
Because for tourist visas, it will always expire 90 days if you're lucky. Some are given like 1 week to get into a place and then out of the same country, right? So that was my motivation. And then we started looking for visa options, long-term stay. So this is one of the things that came up. Like, how do you stay long-term in this country? When we did our search, there were 3 country options that was presented online. So our first consideration was Italy, and then France, and then Spain. And then with that search, that's how we found out that if you do Italy, it's 5 years for Filipinos before you can change into another visa or a citizenship. And then for Italy, or for France, it's the same.
Yeah.
And then we were surprised. We were not aware that it only takes 2 years for Filipinos to change into another mode of visa or residency.
Right, yeah, like it's super easy when I was doing a Google search too. Like, really? 2 years?
Is it really true? Yeah, 2 years.
Because it was not
Yeah.
a migration path for me. It was really more of traveling. And then the 2 years opportunity to change into another type of visa or residency really just came up. It was not an intentional type
Intentional.
of search.
But it's not just residency; it's citizenship.
Citizenship,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
yes, yes.
right
But
away.
at that time, we didn't even realize what that really meant, because it was really for a stay just to travel.
And then during your research, why did you choose to land in Madrid? If you could choose to be anywhere in Spain, why Madrid?
Okay, that's a good question actually. So we went here for a vacation probably 5 or 7 years ago. So we went to Valencia and Barcelona and Ibiza. So definitely, I think choosing Madrid as our home base is the best decision since we initially planned is to travel around Europe. Since Madrid is well connected by bus, train, or plane, we were able to visit 18 of Spain's provinces. And around Europe, it's an easy plane ride to France, Italy, UK, or Iceland. Madrid is the capital of Spain and it receives the most number of government transactions. Understandably, there's a wait time for things to get done, but you can navigate it with the right help. So we wanted to ensure that, the connectivity of travel will be easier for us. That's why we chose Madrid.
Yes. To add to that, maybe another reason for us why we chose Madrid is we were expecting that English will be commonly spoken here.
Yeah.
Thinking that it's the capital, and then access to government facilities, which we needed at that time, would be easier here. Other than that, we've never been to Madrid, so it was also like a risk for, I believe for a lot of people. When you're moving, sometimes you've never been to that place, but you'd think upon research that's the easiest option, or that's the option that makes sense, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's why we chose Madrid.
And yeah, you're right, because of the traveling.
Yeah.
Like Madrid is like, there's
Very
so many
connected, yeah.
connections. Yeah, that's true. Within Spain and outside of Spain. And now we're here, you have Quento Cafe. Why did you decide to open a coffee shop?
I'll start.
Yeah.
So we decided to open a coffee shop together with a partner that we met here already in Madrid. Thinking that, of course, after NLV, there's life in Spain after your initial visa, right? So some of the options will be to look for work. There's a lot of types of work that you can get here. I guess easier for us to do business just because we also own businesses in the Philippines. So we are a bit more brave in that sense. So the coffee shop, and we like coffee. So we are trained baristas as a hobby in the Philippines. So we've taken 3 to 4 classes already before we even got here.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah. Yeah. So was it hard to open a cafe?
Hey everyone, we've got something new to share that we think will really help if you're planning a move to Spain.
If you've been following along our journey, you know that even though we went to Spain sight unseen, we didn't just move to Spain without a clear plan. We did the research, mapped the process, and now we've turned everything we learned into practical tools to help you do it too. We just launched a free course and 2 paid mini courses on our website. The Spain Starter Kit. This is where to begin. It walks you through the basics, what to research, what to expect, and how to turn your Spain move into reality. The Moving to Spain Timeline and Checklist. This is your complete step-by-step roadmap. We tackled the visa research, the hidden costs of moving to Spain, timing your application process, and how do you pack your life into a few suitcases. If we did it, it's in there.
The Spain City Guide. We listed down 47 cities, not just the big names, real places that people are actually moving to. You'll get honest, bite-sized info on cost of living, healthcare access, climate, walkability, schools, airport proximity, and yeah, where to get free tapas. We wanted these mini courses to be short, practical, and grounded in our experience, to share as much information as we can without overwhelming you. And we're coming up with more. It took us 1.5 years of planning before we moved to Spain, and another 2.5 years of living in Spain to finally receive Spanish citizenship. That means 4 full years of hands-on immigration experience of navigating Spanish bureaucracy from scratch. From securing our initial visa through the LA consulate to renewing our residency and eventually applying for Spanish citizenship. No shortcuts.
So if you're serious or even just curious about moving to Spain, check out the courses on our website. And don't forget to follow us here for more practical tips, honest advice, and full guides every week. Spain isn't just a fantasy. With the right plan, it can be your real life. So let's help get you there smarter.
Well, the hardest part is really looking for a local. As we know that we are foreigners, of course, we're not really very well versed in terms of the laws and also what are the things that we need to do. But definitely we have friends and we also have our partners who helped us in terms of looking for that. It took us 8 months, right?
8 to 10
Around
months.
8 to 10 months to look for a local.
To find the spot.
Yes.
To find the spot.
Yes.
So
Starting a business in Madrid was not easy. First off, you find what you try to search for a local. This is the place where you can do or you can conduct your business. Madrid being very popular, of course, the locals that you will find are either taken or in a neighborhood that you don't necessarily like. So one of the things that we found out early is that when you look for a local or for a place to conduct business, it either has a license to operate for a certain type of business or it does not. So you have to get that license by yourself. Early on, we had the wisdom to one of the considerations that we thought of is to get a local that already has an existing license for the type of business we want to operate instead of trying to secure a license from scratch. Because we found out further down the road, because of zoning limitations, if you get or if you apply for a certain type of license, it might be overcrowded already or the neighborhood does not allow an additional bar or coffee in that area anymore because it's just congested. So that's a couple of things that we found out before we launched our cafe.
we went through 50 locals in Madrid, across 4 neighborhoods. So Malasaña, Salamanca, Chamberí, and this neighborhood, Ciudad Lineal. And just because of the experience of having your own business back home, we hired a lawyer to help us broker the deal and just to make sure all of the paperwork, legalities are in order. Of course, you can do it by yourself, but I believe just taking that extra step will put you in the right start or will put you in the right path to start your own business here.
I agree.
Yeah. It's doable, and we did it. So that's something that I think we can, inspire other Filipinos to do it as well.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
But maybe not a cafe.
Different
Competition.
one. No, that's fine.
Very
Just kidding.
open.
Yeah.
No, community over competition.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, we do get guests here
Yeah.
who actually visit us because they are indeed interested to open their own cafe, and we are more than happy to answer them 100% all the time because we want to encourage the local Pinoys who have been here longer than us that if we can do it, I'm sure they can do it and they can do it better. So I guess that's one of the strong points when we were starting the business. We were cognizant of that intention.
Galing. I like it.
Okay, so follow-up question. Since you guys said that you had a business in the Philippines and now you have a business here, what's the biggest, I guess, difference or obstacle that you've encountered while opening a business and running it here?
Okay. For me, it's really the language barrier. That's the first one. Of course, you really have to learn how to speak the language, because of course, you're in the community. You really have to put an effort to learn how to speak Spanish. That's really the number one for me.
For me, I believe it's the rules and regulations. That's why we were intentional in getting hired help, a lawyer, because you cannot just Google this stuff or you cannot just chat GPT when you're actually in motion in opening up your own business. So it's nice to have someone local to help you iron out the legal details of the business. And then I would agree with the language. For culture, we're very lucky. This is where the similarities in Philippine culture and Spanish culture, you'll really see them. Like the Spanish people or the local neighborhood, once you give them great service and great food, they come back. So very Filipino in approach
In that
or
sense,
mindset.
yeah.
And now you've been here 3 years, and you moved here without knowing anyone,
Right.
right? Nobody in Madrid. And you said you've never been to Madrid.
Never.
Okay. And then you just landed here. So how did you survive those 3 years and actually end up owning a cafe? Like, how did you do all that with knowing nobody?
Well, definitely research helped us a lot. Also, we got a lot of personal experiences from our customers as well. So definitely
Here in the cafe.
in the cafe. So they help us in terms of if we have questions about paperwork and all those stuff. So definitely it helped us, the community.
Of course, having you as friends helped a lot. Doing our research, like Abby said, and actually going through the motion of being here and living the life experience. So 3 years is a lot of time to learn. It gave us every day. It's a new challenge or a new experience for us. So I guess that's where the expertise would come from.
So, for example, you mentioned before you chose Madrid because you thought that most everybody would speak English.
Wrong.
So was that like a realization for you guys very quickly? Like very
Exactly.
Exactly.
You just know what you know and you don't know what you don't know. So it ended up like we are forced to learn the language to be able to integrate and do what is needed to be done. So we learn the language. That's the ending. It's not that they speak English.
Yeah.
No, but I think that speaks to the attitude of someone who's moving to a different place, right? You have to have that grit. You have to have like that openness to learn new things and and recognize the self-awareness to know that I'm the foreigner here. I'm the newbie here. I should adapt to what they're doing.
Yeah.
And how they're talking.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, and be surprised. But take the thing that you thought you knew and actually adapt to it. Like it's really surprising for me.
So when we arrived in Madrid, the biggest realization is when it comes to schedule. So with eating, they have a different set of timings. So their typical breakfast is at 10 a.m. and then for lunch around 2:30 and for dinner is at 10 p.m. So definitely we are not used to this kind of schedule. So we were really surprised and hungry and we suffered a lot for the first month of our arrival. They also have siesta time. So a lot of shops close at 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. So we didn't realize that it's really happening here. So you really have to adjust on the way of life here in Madrid.
Yeah, especially like you've had like established careers in the Philippines, you've had managerial positions. I mean, you're like, oh, okay, I can do this because I've done things already in the past in my career or in my life in the Philippines. So I will just take that and bring it here.
Definitely.
Right.
Definitely.
But it's worked out good so far.
Oh yeah, so far so good.
You live and learn. You live and learn.
And also, having this cafe actually gained us a lot of experiences from others. They're really generous with the information. And we actually built a community.
Helping out the team at Quento, we've met a lot of great people from all walks of life, which we enjoy. True to its name, people do share their stories to us on a daily basis, and we always enjoy listening to them. Stories of triumph, of pressure, and a lot of them really asking us like how to do life in Madrid. We also learn a lot from our customers, our community at Quento Cafe. Some of which like how to land your first home, how to change or exchange your driver's license, and which visa they ended up choosing in terms of going here in Madrid. So we do get a lot of crowd-sourced knowledge about life in Madrid apart from what we know about NLV. So that keeps the cafe life interesting on a daily basis.
Okay, and then Paul is off camera, so he wanted to give his input that yes, and you basically saved yourself some time and heartache.
Right.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Because you're learning from experiences of others. Like, their mistakes you don't have to do
Right.
anymore, right?
Right.
Okay, so last question. If you were to give advice to someone who's gonna move to Spain, what would it be? What would be your advice? The one advice. If you like this video, please consider subscribing to our channel and clicking the notification bell. Shout out to our subscribers for always being awesome. Thanks to the people who support our channel by subscribing, commenting, giving us super thanks, and tipping us with our Buy Us a Coffee link. If you want to pick our brains and book a 60-minute consultation, we have a link for that, and we can give our honest opinions about topics that we haven't covered in our videos.
Thanks to the people in our Facebook group for being awesome members, for generously helping each other.
One advice.
Oh, that's difficult.
Difficult. Yeah.
One thing
if it's
that they
just
should
one.
know. Yeah.
Okay.
Because you should be getting like 10. I mean, for me, just do it. Do it. There's a lot of things that will make you stay, and there's a lot of things that made you think about moving to Spain. I guess the biggest differentiator is the one who acts on it. So do it.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. Yeah.
Well, for me, it's a difficult question, but definitely I think one advice I can give is to really pray about it. If it's really an intention for you to go, definitely God will help you through it. So I think that's the number one for me.
Thank you so much, Abby and Francis, for sharing your story with us, for sharing your journey. And I know we're at around the same timeline in terms of everything that was happening. Like, you moved to Madrid, sight unseen. We moved to Valencia, sight unseen as well. And now it's amazing to see you guys have a life beyond just the non-lucrative visa because,
Right.
I mean, you know, we can't work on the non-lucrative visa. And then here you are now with Quento Cafe. And, you know, thank you for being so generous with sharing that information, you know, and being encouraging to others as well. And yeah, we hope you enjoyed today's video. And if you are ever in Madrid, stop by for some ube coffee. And my favorite is the croffle, by the way, in the mornings. So look for that. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, V. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.